Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Timba Madima. This evening we're chatting to Amy Naude. She'll be coming on now, 400-meter athlete, sprinter. She's going to be joining us in a bit. It's going to be an interesting one. Hope you guys are excited. I am. We're going to have a good chat this evening. It is a Friday, which means we can sit back, relax. We don't have to rush through life as much as during the week. So yeah, guys, make sure to send through your questions if you have any. We're gonna have a great chat with Amy. She's in the building. I'm just gonna accept and we're gonna good evening, and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Timba Madima. This evening we're chatting to Amy. Amy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. And how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I can hear you.
Amy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. All right. I
There
think
we go.
my network was a bit. I don't know if it's is it my side or your side? I don't know which side it is.
No idea.
Yeah,
Your guess
but
is
thanks.
as good as mine.
Well, thanks for joining us, Amy. Really appreciate it. I think we're gonna have a good chat. I'm glad I can hear you, and I can see you, so everything is good connection-wise.
Perfect.
How you been?
I've been good, thanks. Carrying on as usual, you know.
Yeah.
Schoolwork, the norm. And on your side?
Yeah, all is good. Keeping busy as well. Training. Yeah, work stuff as well, backtrack and all that stuff, keeping us busy. So it's all good, all good. Welcome
Rather
to each
be
and
busy
everyone.
than sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. I totally agree with that. Let's do a welcome. I see some people are joining in. Zagiti Nene is in the building. Steeny Jack, Tesmia, Melisha, welcome. Sebo, the triathlete champ. FL, we've got Dylan, Pinar, Athletic for Amal. Welcome to you guys. Claudia, Schaubek, Kerry, Nodia. We've got Mikhail, Mizra. Welcome, guys. Cornel Euster. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're going to have an interesting one. I'm excited. I hope you are too.
I'm excited. Been waiting for this the whole week.
That's good. That's what we want to hear. If you've been waiting for it, there's anticipation. So yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm not gonna waste any more time. I think there's gonna be a lot of questions that we need to get through. But yeah, before we do that, we're gonna just do an introduction and then we're gonna get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening we've got Amy Naude. Is it right? It's Naude, right?
Yes.
All right.
Afrikaans.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Afrikaans. Because I mean, you're so English. So I don't know. Maybe it's Amy Naude. No, Naude.
No, my dad is Afrikaans, mom is English. So.
Okay. All right. With us this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Amy Naude. She is the African Youth Games 400-meter silver medalist. So that's African under 18 Youth Games 400-meter silver medalist. SA under 18 400-meter champion. CAA under 18 Southern Regional Championships 400-meter gold medalist, SA Schools 400-meter champion, as well as this one is interesting, Portuguese under 20 Championships 400-meter gold medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Naude.
Thank you.
What were you doing in Portugal? You messed up somebody's chance of winning a title?
Yeah, I went over there because it was my first ever international event, and my coach is Portuguese. So we thought, what a more fitting place to go. And, he has contacts there. So we thought that was the perfect opportunity. So we went that side.
That's cool, though. How did that feel? Like, quick?
Oh, my gosh, it was incredible. It really is just seeing such a different culture, the races, not knowing what's going on half the time. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's always it's an amazing experience, and I think the most the most important part of it is like it opens up your mind to like the world and how, you know, they do athletics. So it's a nice reference to have, you know.
I think so often we get caught in our little bubbles, especially like here in KZN.
Yeah.
It's a very tight-knit little group. So to
Yeah.
just go and have an eye-opener, I think it's very important.
Absolutely. All right, we need to play a game before we get started into all the questions and so on. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, make sure there's a question tab there where you can just put your questions in there. And yeah, then I don't forget them, you know, then I don't have to scroll up to get them. There's actually a tab there, then we can just open it up and read them. So the game is called 30 Seconds, Amy. So you've got 30 seconds to name as many things as possible that you have inside of your competition or training bag. The record sits at 18. Will somebody break it? Amy, please do something. Please. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So we have spikes. We have an extra pair of tackies. We have tracksuit pants, tracksuit top, water bottle. We have sweets. We have an energy bar. We have earphones, wallet, phone.
Okay.
Lip gloss, bubble gum.
Yeah.
Race number, racing pins.
Come on.
Let's go. Towel, a foam roller, a rolling stick as well.
Come on. Time.
What else?
Time. Woo. Amy.
So close.
Amy, you missed the record by 1. So that puts you number 2.
So close.
You are sitting at number 2 out of, 64 or so people. So congrats, that's good.
Thank you. Next time.
Next time. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed, really impressed. Zagiti Nene says, why are you lying?
I'm not lying. I carry all that stuff on race day. Essentials. I'm telling you.
Wow. Yes,
I'd rather be over-prepared.
Yeah. I'm also the same, you know. I make sure I've got everything. I've got, you know, I'm that one guy. I've got toilet paper, I've got gum, I've got pens, you know.
That's
essentials.
Super clever.
Essentials. All right, so let's get started. I mean, well done. 17. I'm really impressed. Thank you. I knew if somebody could do it, it would be you. And to put out a 17, that's impressive. So, Amy, where did your sprinting journey or your running and athletics journey start? You know, somebody looks at you and they see somebody who's quiet, shy. But I mean, when you get on the track, you're aggressive, you're a fighter, you're a warrior. Where did this journey start?
It started actually when I was very young in preschool. I always used to run.
Can you hear me?
Teachers did. I did, yes. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay.
Testing?
Yes. Yes.
Am I back? Okay. It started in preschool, really. Teachers always used to notice, and then eventually when I moved down to Ballito, one of my school teachers noticed me at Interhouse and said I should go to Fast Feet in Durban and train with Vic. So there's little old me in grade 6 heading over to there in 2014, I think.
Wow.
And that's where it started.
Yeah. So you've been with Coach Vic Vaz for since 2014. That's 6 years already.
Yes. Yep. The one and only.
The one and only.
Don't get better. One and only.
No, he's an amazing man. You know, always helpful. Loves the sport. I mean, it's good to see, you know, both development as well as senior athletes. So definitely a good one. Let's do a few welcomes. I see Edwin Sisepi is in here as well. I saw the brother today earlier. Is that Cheho? I see you. Shirayan Singh. We see you, Durban, in the house. Welcome, Durban. We've got Peter. Who else am I missing here over here? Guardio Isaacs. Oh, the 400-meter machine. Speed Band South Africa. Welcome, guys. Tian Stevens, Christu Engopoulos. I hope I said that right. He's in here. James Sparta, all the way in the United States of America. He's in here as well. Welcome, guys. Benu Menkis, Jesse Brown, Lovely Rio. Okay. Steenie Jack says hello. Who else? Clarence Munyai. Yo, the speedster himself is in here. South African record holder, second fastest junior ever. He's in here. Oh, Geoff Low, as well as Beatrice Lebuchang, Malaysia. Welcome, guys. I can't see everybody, so you'll have to wave so that we can see it. All right, there's some questions already here. Before I get into mine, let's hear what the people are saying. Hey, Steenie Jack is asking Amy, who is your athletic role model? I've got that in my question, so I don't mind taking that. Who is your role model?
To be 100% honest with you, I don't have one person. I have aspects in every single person that I meet. Because every single person has something a little bit different, whether they might be a lot mentally stronger or physically stronger. And I look up to little aspects in every single person.
Oh, let's hear this. Let's build this role model of yours. So you've got which mental part or which athlete do you like on the mental side of the athletics or whatever it is?
For the mental side, I really enjoy talking. I don't know if you know Peter Kukumu.
Yeah, Kukumu, of course. Yes.
He helped me quite a lot. He's like my mental tutor in a sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Peter.
Mickey, I'm not sure if you know him. I actually met him like a few weeks ago, and I thought the timing was just perfect. So
sorry, who was this? Repeat that.
Mickey.
Mickey, no, I don't. Okay.
He's a badminton player. I actually met him in the gym. So he's been helping me quite a lot.
Yeah.
So they definitely more part of the mental sort of side of it. Mental training.
And like, which athlete do you look to for, like, if I want to be a runner, this is, or a sports person that you would identify as a role model? Is there anybody, or do you build that from other pieces as well?
I take little bits from everybody, but I do look up to Zach. Oh my gosh, when he trains, it's like watching a gazelle. He just like prances. He's always so relaxed, and the effort he puts in is just, it's unexplainable. So I definitely look up to Zach.
Wow. All right, cool. That's amazing. All right. Interesting one. I've got another question over here. Let's see what Theo Official Z says. He says, if you had to choose another track event, what would it be? Very good question. So we're on the roll tonight.
I would definitely go with 200. I did, yes.
All right.
I would definitely go with 200s. I love 200s. Because 100 is a bit too short. 200 is just right. Or if there was a 300. Oh, I'd love to do a 300. So, yeah. Definitely go 300.
You enjoy the 300, huh?
Oh, I love the 300.
What about the 300 do you like the most? I mean, I know, like, even with the shootouts and everything, is like one of the events you always, like, you want to run it, out of all of them. What do you like most about the 300?
I just feel like it's perfect distance because I do struggle with speed sort of side. So I feel like it's the perfect mix between speed endurance, speed, and a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And a bit of fitness. So I feel like it's just a match made in heaven.
What about the 800? I was thinking today as I was driving, I was like, you know what? Amy could make a good 800-meter runner. I mean, you've got the speed already. You do have, your endurance is good for a 400-meter runner. So I don't know. I was just thinking out loud. I'm sure. Have you heard of this before somewhere maybe?
I have heard some rumors for that. So we'll see in the future. Let's go. We actually were looking at trying 800 this year, but then things changed, and so we'll take it as it comes.
Okay. So I'm onto something, I just thought of it in the car today, but I know I'm onto something. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
Athletic for Amal is saying, which international athlete would you like to meet, Amy?
Ooh. I'd have to say, I know it's like cliche, but I'd love to meet Alison Felix.
Yeah.
Her story is just phenomenal. It's
a superstar. Absolutely.
I'd love to meet her.
All right, we're gonna try arrange for you to meet with what is it, Alison Felix. So hopefully that will happen one day.
One day,
Yeah, but
definitely.
she's a phenomenal role model and athlete. Absolutely. All right, so let's get into your athletics journey. So obviously you discovered that you wanted to run from a young age. I mean, you are still young. Just for those who don't know, Amy is 18 years old, still an under 20 athlete. So there's still a long journey ahead of you, and I think a bright journey. And just looking, I mean, you said you've been with Vic Vaz since 6 years back, so that was you at 12 years old, 11, 12, coming into athletics, and you knew then. Did you already know at that point that, listen, this is the only sport I want to do? Did you do other sports, or was it just athletics?
I did do other sports until grade 7, and then I specialized completely into track. It just wasn't worth the risk with injuries, with netball, knees, ankles.
What sport was this?
I used to do netball, and I did a little bit of hockey every now and again, but mainly netball.
Okay. Netball. I wouldn't have ever guessed that.
I have to admit, I do love netball.
Yeah, it's an amazing team sport. I'm gonna take a question here from who's Nam Homie. I don't know. Sorry about that. If I messed up your name. So she asked, "What's your favorite sport besides athletics?" Sounds like netball is the answer.
It would probably be netball.
All right, and then the other question is, what is your goal for running in the next 2 years?
The next 2 years. I'd definitely say I'd love to do World Juniors. That is one of my goals. And then potentially next year, maybe Olympic squad for the relay. That's pretty much our 2-year plan for the moment.
All right. That's a good plan, solid plan, big goals. I see Peter Kukumur has jumped in. He says, hello, Miss Naude. Loazi Masondo is also in here. Welcome to you. Ruan van der Walt, I see you. Oh, Julie. Julie Pooley is also in here. Welcome to you as well. Long time no see. We got Milan Marciano. Welcome to you. Monach Lefa. Dominic Chicaro. Man, there's like all these Portuguese and Italian sounding names here. That must be something to do with you, Amy.
That's my school friends.
Okay, I see.
Always rely on them.
All right, I see. All right, so yeah, we've discovered that obviously you chose athletics from a young age. And then what's the journey from there? Obviously working with Coach Vic Vaz, what do you think is the most important lesson you've learned from him as a coach, as a person? I personally believe that, your relationship with a coach is probably one of the most important relationships for your running. Obviously, there's other factors that come in, but I mean, your coach is like that's the beginning, and then from there on, yes, physios, massage, mental sides with the psychology, there's the diet, there's etc., etc. What's your relationship with your coach like?
Oh, I've always referred to him as my second dad. He's been a lifesaver through this whole process. And I've just learned from him to always trust in the process, trust in him, and trust in myself. Because if you don't have that trust, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It always works out if you trust in him.
Absolutely. Trusting your coach, that is such a big thing, because I mean, the thing is, we need to understand that coaches are human beings, believe it or not, so they are also trying to navigate their way into making you a better athlete. They'll add this, take this out, and they'll try things. It won't always be the same, otherwise there won't be any progress. So what you said about trusting him, just trusting the process and trusting what the coach is trying to do is so important, because if it doesn't go well, it's a team effort. If it goes well, that means you were able to plug into that one system and believe in it, and it usually works out.
Exactly.
Yeah, so very important. I think that's a good advice to the young athletes. Don't you need to trust your coaches. Don't believe everything you read on Google. It's not true. Okay.
Exactly. Or on Instagram or
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, what will happen is that you see somebody posts a great session, and then you want to do that. That person is at their peak, and it gets you out of your tune. So trust your coach. Very important. Another welcome. We've got Dace Malivana is in here. Bradley Agnew, also an amazing coach. He's also here as well. And then we've also got Tumi Silepe, Ray, Renzo. Welcome, guys. Good to have you here. Okay, so let's move on. Obviously, I'd say there's obviously some youth and so on. Schools athletics is also quite competitive, and you've had success there as well. But I want to move to your under 18 year. Obviously, those are the years where we start like really like counting and seeing, all right, how talented you are and so on. Under 18 championships, you win the SA 800 SA 400-meter title in that. What does it mean to you? Is that what does that explain the feeling of winning an SA title as an athlete?
I think that's the start of where all the hard work eventually just collects, and you don't really process it. I find even after the race, it takes a while to actually realize what you've done. So once you've done that, it's a huge confidence booster, because you realize, actually, I can do this. All the hard work that we've put in has paid off, and it comes down to that trust again.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. So I mean, so you said it's obviously it was definitely a stepping stone, and I mean you used that momentum into 2019. I'll just go to 2019. 2019. You're still 18. Youth was just last year. It's like 2019 was a good year for you. On the under 18. National as well as, let's call it, international scene as well. You did go to the Portuguese national championships. You were able to win that. So you can compete in Europe, in South Africa. You were the fastest South African under 18 400-meter lady, and then you went to African youth games. Talk about that experience. How was the African youth games? I mean, it's a bit different. We had the CAA championships, which were in Boxburg, so at least that was local, but you also bagged a gold medal there. Just explain the difference between like competing at the CAA championships, where you won gold in the 400, and the African championships.
That CAA champion, that was the first time that I've run in South African kit. So I feel like that energy really pulled through. I honestly, I don't know how I ran that race. It's like there's a switch, and if you switch it, everything just comes out, and everything came out in that moment. So I don't know how that happened.
Sounds like you unleashed. Sounds like you unleashed some extra nos and turbos out of the legs.
Definitely. I had somebody pushing me behind me. So, and then I went to African Games in 2018, and then I also went last year.
Yeah.
So there's actually a funny story with last year when I went to African Games at Ivory Coast. So you know how you go through the whole process of getting your birth certificate checked and all that sort of stuff to make sure you're the right age. So yeah, I think you can see where this is going. So all of that got checked. I ran the race, and I actually ended up coming fourth. Hours later, we were back at where we were staying, and I get a phone call, and it says, Amy, you've actually come third. Because the girl that had come third was an age older. So that moment was just pure shock. So, I was over the moon. I'm phoning everyone, my coach and my mom and my dad. And, it was awesome. So
wow. Sorry, I
was
was having a bit of a connection challenge from my side. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, it was lagging a bit on my side. I don't know if you can see me clearly.
I can.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they had to first check IDs and certify ages and so on. Very interesting. It is
And the
Africa.
first one I went on. The first one I went on in 2018. Oh, that was just so much fun. It's once again, you only realize how much fun it was until you're back home into the norm. So,
Yeah.
the group that I went with, such incredible people, all of them. I love them to bits. I call them lifelong friends. So,
yeah, well, you've only been living 18 years, so I think those are some good friends to take with you. I'll catch up with you in 10 years and find out if those friends are still around.
I'm sure they will be.
All right, great stuff. Okay, so obviously, African Youth Games experience, that was a positive one, and we've spoken about competing in Europe and we touched on it a bit in the beginning, but I want to just get a further understanding of that, for those who are watching. What role, I mean, why did you find it important for you to go compete in Europe? What was the plan and thinking behind that?
The plan was to try and run a PB. That didn't happen. I got stuck on low 54s. Some things are just completely unexplainable. We literally had I don't know. I mean, I was doing it in training, but sometimes it just doesn't follow through into races. It's just how it goes sometimes. So the first event I ran was an international one. And if I remember correctly, I think it was second or third.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly. So I was happy with that. It was a good just starter introduction. I then ran, it was the under 18 championships, and they don't actually do a 400. They do a 300-meter event.
Wow.
So
okay.
Quite different. Apparently they're too young or something like that to do fours, but
wow.
Yeah, so I did a 300 there, and I managed to break the national record, which was absolutely awesome. So I was happy with that. And then I competed in the 20 junior championships, where I won that one as well, which was also, that was a real rush. And then I competed in the senior event.
Seniors.
Where
I
think I came third.
Yeah, third.
Third.
Okay,
so
but I
that
mean,
was also
that's amazing. I mean, I think you can't write a better story of how you want to start your European tour, because hey, it gets rough out there. It gets.
It does.
it just depends on your travel, how you travel. That makes or breaks everything. But like you said, I think the experience of doing that just opens up something to your mind, and I mean, it's a good introduction to where you want to go. You want to be competing on an international level. You want to be able to travel and run fast, because that's important. It's actually, traveling is probably the most important factor. How you handle your traveling is one of the most important factors to running fast in Europe. Everything else, comes, you can sort it out and figure it out. But so well done on that. It's a good start, and just build on that as well. Okay, I see there's a question from Athletic for Amo. Sorry, there's a bit of a break in.
Yeah,
sorry,
I just
sorry
said
for
it
interrupting
teaches
you.
you a lot of maturity as well, especially since it's your first time being away from family for so long. So you have to deal with things by yourself. So I think it's very important for an athlete to go.
How long did you go?
I was there for 4 weeks.
Okay.
A month.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, you have to learn. Huh? You have to learn. If you have to eat croissants with croissants with the chocolate for breakfast, you need to learn. Huh? It's not the same.
You have to.
All right. I'm gonna take a question here from Athletic Pro Amor. He says, "Don't you find it difficult to come and run up in the high veld coming from the coast?" So obviously, altitude is a word you will hear more of as you get more into the athletics. So obviously, you based in Durban, train in Durban, live in Durban. What factor does it play when you come down to run in Pretoria?
There's quite a few things that influence it. It depends when I fly up. Sometimes I fly up the morning of the race, which isn't my favorite thing to do. I find I'm normally very fatigued.
Yeah.
You have to get up early, the drive. So that I don't quite enjoy. But if I fly up the day before, then I'm 100% fine. I quite enjoy running up at altitude because I find the 400 is short enough that you don't get affected by it. But if you go longer, like the 600, then it stings.
Yeah, that's very true. So let's talk about the 600. Yeah.
That was, I love that race. Are you still there?
Yeah, it's lagging again. Sorry, I don't know. There's a bit of a lag. So if there's some awkward silence, it's because of the lag. So yeah, I was saying. So obviously, the classic shootouts you've done quite a few classic shootouts in your time. I see it's one of those races that you don't want to miss out on. And we don't struggle to get you down here because Vic Vaz like Temba. We want to try get AV in for this. Do you think there'll be a lane open for her? I'll be like, Vic Vaz, if you want to bring Amy, I have no problems. No problemo. Tell us about the event. Like the whole atmosphere of the event, running the event, 600. What does it do for your season? And what role does it play in beginning your season? I mean, it's pretty much one of the first races of the year.
I love it because you guys put it in a school event. So down in KZN, we actually don't at all get that sort of atmosphere and vibe, and it's just incredible to see the stands full and everybody's so passionate. And it just really, it gets you vibing. So it really does put you in the mood.
It's like, it feels like an athletics party, like everybody and anybody who's meant to be at that party is there. They've got their dancing shoes. There's introductions, there's lights, there's cameras, action, and I think the important thing about it is obviously it's creating a high pressure environment, which is fun to be in, obviously. And end of the day, you have to perform, besides everything that is happening there and, how nice it is. Once you put in the good performance, it pretty much just stamps the day. So, yeah, you've been a champion of the 600-meter race. So tell us about that. No, champion, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah. This year, yeah. This year you were a champion.
Year? I can't believe that
was it a tux?
Yes, it was.
It was this year. Can you imagine? It feels like this year was last year.
Trying to remember back to all these events. I'm a little bit stumped.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in that 600. I think somebody else took over me, and I just wanted to lead from the front. I was like, if you're gonna go, you gotta go. So I went with it, and if you commit, you commit.
Hey, when you go, you go.
You go. All or nothing.
All right. Like when I saw that race, that's where the idea of you running a 800 came, because you ran it aggressively. You had to pace yourself, but you went hard, and you made a commitment to it. That's the 800. You know, if you watch Jenna and how Jenna usually runs the 800, you know, when she's up for it, she's up for it. Huh? She just goes to the front and that's it.
That's also where my coach got the idea. 800. I set myself up.
All right, we're going to have to keep with it. Okay. So I'm going to move to the next few questions. Yo, time is moving. It's already 37 minutes. Yo. So we're going to be wrapping it up. It's all good. I don't mind either. So let's talk about your motivation. What is your motivation? I mean, just a reminder, you 18 years old, you know, pretty much this year you only ran a few preseason races and a few leagues here and there. The season didn't get into full swing. You've got a 53.83 seconds already on the 400. What is your motivation? Like, what is keeping you hungry and you know, wanting to become a better athlete on the track?
Honestly, I feel like there's just so much. It's firstly that personal drive and thirst. Always want to do better. I feel like you can really go somewhere, especially I just get so sad when I see people that have been given a gift and don't use it. Because there's some people that would kill to have that gift. So if you have it, I want to use it.
Yeah, so, that's a conversation. That's a whole conversation. You know, it's you know, for me, it's one of those topics. So I don't think we've got enough time for me to jump into that one. But I hear you. I hear
it's
you
also
fully.
Just for everybody else as well, not only for myself. It's because there's people have put so much effort in. I feel like seeing them happy, it also just gives you that passion for it. So,
absolutely. All right. I mean, absolutely, you're spot on. And I mean, end of the day, it's, you know, you must have self-drive. I think it's important because, like you said, there's a lot of people that are watching, supporting, backing you. They want you to do all these things, you know.
Exactly.
But you need to want to do them as well, even more than them. When they think they want you to win, you want to win like 10 times as much as they do. And that's the personal drive, personal goal setting, you know. That's it. You have to be hungry, like Amy. Like there's no other way. You have to be a lion. You have to be a hyena at times. At times you need to be a vulture. You know, it's not always. You don't always get to be the animal you like. But when that gun goes off, like you said, you don't know what takes over you, because gold and winning should be the only thing on your mind. You hear me?
Exactly. I hear you.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. I want you to what advice would you give to young athletes? You're a young athlete as well. What would you say is some of the most important advice you've received at this age? I mean, like I said, 18 years old. You've got some international experience for your age group and so on. You have to transition to the next level in the next 2 years or so, with regards to senior athletics and so on. What advice would you say was the most important advice you've received thus far?
There's two, actually. The first one is very short. It's be brave.
Okay. I like that.
And the second one is balance. I found, especially this year, it's opened up my eyes. And I've realized you have to balance everything, your social life, your schoolwork, your training. There has to be a balance. If there's not, I feel like that's when the passion is going to dwindle a little bit. So that balance, I think, is critical.
Wow. I mean, that's so important, you know, because, like, let's be honest, and I think you would know it already. Once you commit to athletics, it consumes, it literally consumes your life. So everything is almost, when you talk about balance, you know, you have to try balance everything around this machine that needs to be constantly fed, maintained, you know, kept in check. So, let's just, that'll be the last thing I want to hear about. How do you balance it? How do you balance the academics, social life, your goals, you know, and just your personal growth as a person as well? I know it's big questions for an 18-year-old.
It's fun. I feel like I'm slowly figuring it out, whereas in the past it was purely academics and training, whereas now I'm starting to discover that from socializing, that brings in a whole new aspect and perspective, which I feel also can fuel you. So you just have to learn as you go, where this year I've really had to learn what balance is. So you just have to learn as you go. I feel like there's no set way to teach someone really how to balance besides figuring it out. So, can you still hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you broke a bit there. Sorry about that. I think, yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. I think it's my connection. I stand to be corrected. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I did I caught some of it. Some of it just blanked out. But Amy, I think we're going to wrap it up from there. Oh, I see Akani Simbini. The Akani Simbini is also in here. Welcome to him. You know, he wants to hear what the speedster Amy Naude has to say, you know, about running. Athletic for Amo says... Athletic for Amo says one of the most inspirational young athletes in SA. Keep shining. I see somebody says keep smiling as well. Well said from Anel Blexing. Well said. You've got a lot of wisdom, Amy. Like you said, I mean, you're 18 years old. And no, the only thing I would add to everything you said is enjoy it. You know, enjoy it. You are young. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get things perfectly right. And you're going to get them perfectly wrong as well. Trust the process. You know, it's a journey. It's not it's not always like, you know, a quick sprint. Sometimes it's a marathon. But yeah, take it as it comes, as you said. Enjoy it. Balance, you know. Keep your goals in check. And yeah, stay hungry and focused.
Be brave.
And be brave. Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
All right.
you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, really appreciate it. We'll be back again, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday. So make sure that you guys keep joining in. It's important that we have these conversations because, you know, South African athletics, we need to be sharing this information, chatting, and, you know, growing together. Amy, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate everybody that's joined in as well. See you guys again on Monday. From me, Tama Madima, hashtag Daravenda, hashtag Law. Amy, do you have any hashtags?
Be brave.
Hashtag be brave.
Perfect. Thank you so much again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.